Hey, how's everybody doing? Good, I hope. Easter weekend coming up. Hopefully everybody's got some family plans. Chocolate Easter bunnies, whatever it means to you. Hope you enjoy it. So I want to talk about bouncing around the different dimensions because, it's as simple as this. Even when you were a kid, you could stare out the window in the middle of a classroom and you could be somewhere else. And then all of a sudden it's like, hello, are you there? And you're like, what? So that's kind of happening for many of us on this spiritual journey is we're noticing that we're on different dimensions. Sometimes simultaneously, sometimes it's real clear that it's different. When you're seeing things fifth dimensional, it's almost like things are mechanical. Clouds, tree movement, cars moving, sometimes people talking. Just different things will seem like Twilight Zone, like literally. And of course, we're seeing that everyone's polar opposite. It's either you're a little more robotic and brainwashed in a way and all about the discussions, or you're aware of what's in and the overall guidelines and inconsistencies, and you're like, not for me at the moment, thanks. I'm kind of on my spiritual journey. I just want to kind of get up and go. Hey, things will work out. So unless you're finding people like who you are with like get up and go, I'm on a different dimension, I got places to see, my avatar's taking my soul places, or you're in this, and then you want to pounce back. And that's not such a good idea either because it's such an opposition. It's like trying to get your head through a cement wall. You might as well just save your breath, let somebody else do their thing, and you stay in your lane and do your thing. That's one thing Spirit has taught me a lot in the last 2 years is get back in your lane, Sandy. Stay there. You don't need to do anything but be in your lane with you and play with the energies. So back to the whole dimensional thing. So yeah, we're flipping around a bit, seeing things differently, feeling things differently, maybe hearing things differently, vibratorily different. And honestly, you don't need to do anything about it except for acknowledge. You're like, oh, I recognize that. Now, sometimes when I get it, I'll get the whole head spin thing, or I'm off balance. Like last night I got back from driving and I wanted to do a couple standing exercises to stretch out my hips, and I couldn't get my balance to save my life. But instead of beating myself up going, what is wrong with you? I'm like, okay, something's shifting, it's all right. Just plant your feet again, get repositioned, try it again. Oh, all right, well, you can't get through two. Come back at it tomorrow night. So some people will call this dimensional switching bifurcation. Now, I don't really know a lot about that. I've heard people talk about it and I really just don't get into it too much. But I can tell you a couple experiences that I've had in the last 6 months. So let me take Thanksgiving weekend, for example. I went and joined family for hiking. And when I got back on the highway to head home, I absolutely did not know what direction I was going in. I had to repeatedly check my GPS, and I was convinced I was going south versus north. Now, every Sunday, I was on the same highway for 3 years, every Sunday. But I just happened to get back on the highway this particular Thanksgiving weekend after hiking at a little closer exit. But everything should look the same because I have to be on that road for like 35 minutes. It was baffling to me until I realized, okay, I am dimensionally flipping here. So let me get a little closer to 10 and 2 and just breathe here. Breathe through it. And then another time, I literally pulled out onto a mini highway near my house. And as soon as I pulled onto it, there was no cars behind me. None when I pulled up. Before I even pulled up and probably got into second gear, a car just comes flying up on my rear end as if it doesn't see me and then realizes, oh, shoot, there's a car, and it whips over. Then all of a sudden the car's in the left lane, I'm in the middle lane, and it whips behind me and then whips over into the far lane. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? So this happened for like a couple miles where these cars were just whipping in and out of me like they realized at the last second that I was there. And the whole time that that was happening, I went, I'm on a different dimension in my car. They're not seeing me. This isn't cool. Ground your car. Hey, car, spirit, I'm going to need all 4 tires fully grounded in the color of this car seen by others so that no injuries occur. And this has continued to happen, multiple times in the past 6 months. And then last week, I was actually in a healing session, and we wound up talking about this. And the healer said, oh, are you putting protection around your car? I said, yeah, I usually do. And while we were talking, I literally went outside to my parking lot and surrounded my car with it. So after I'm done the session, I get in my car, go to the store, come out of the store, hit the road. When my right peripheral could see a car flying down a lane, running the stop sign, and coming right for my broadside. Now, I have no time for the horn. I have no time to veer over because then I'm going to come into two lanes coming towards me. That's not going to be cool. So I don't know if I speeded up or what I did, but I just kept doing this. Oh, shit. And I do not know how this car missed me. I do not, because it was like, I'm talking like air between his front bumper and my back bumper. And then when I looked in my rearview mirror again, they were stopped in the middle of the 2-lane road as if they had just woken up, realizing, oh, I just about broadsided someone. And in that second, then they floored it and just took off. And I'm thinking, God, thank God I put the crystal bubble around my from bumper to bumper and 100 feet all the way out, down and up. And I did that on my travels this past weekend too. I'm glad I did, because yesterday I wound up driving home in horrific rainstorms where it was 10 and 2, white knuckling and stiff neck and jaw, because you can't even see the road. But I had to breathe through that and get through that. But anyway, so the importance of putting protection around yourself and your vehicle and the people around you, so that while you're flipping dimensions or in and out of thought processes and things that are going on, you can call it what you choose to, make sure that you're okay. Like, for example, I was carrying my suitcase yesterday and I had this armful, this with the suitcase. I stepped out of the kitchen onto the garage stoop, which has 2 steps, and somehow I missed the second step. How I didn't waffle back and forth and twist my spine, I have no idea, but I had already protected myself before I left. So maybe that had something to do with it. So before you go tripping to another dimension or physically tripping, I suggest that you put protection around yourself and secure yourself and put it around your family, put it around your dwellings, wherever you may be, and around others, so that when conversations come up or someone's heading at you with a grocery cart or a car or some attitude, just bounce, bounce. Doesn't affect you. You don't carry it with you. Let it go. All right. So the power of protection is important while we're doing all this timeline jumping. And just have fun with it. Just journal it and just acknowledge it. Like, oh yeah, I was just somewhere else. But here you are. So take care of you. Please like, subscribe, and share. And leave me a message. Till the next video.